भुनक्तु सह नौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। See the fourth sutra. So, the Purva-Pakshi's objection we have seen. So, it's a very, very valid objection. I mean, this is something, which everybody thinks. That for accomplishing anything, well, we have to do karma, we have to make effort. Effort means some action. Whether it is dharma or artha or kama, even moksha. In order to accomplish any goal, including moksha, the sadhanam has to be kriya, has to be action. Therefore, Veda also cannot be teaching anything other than actions. Different actions for different goals. If there is moksha, then also it has to be another action, some specific action. Therefore, you can't interpret Vedanta to mean only Brahma Vidya, because Vidya cannot give any result. Knowledge can remove ignorance. Knowledge cannot create any result. And what man wants is a result of freedom, etc. And that we need to create. And to create we have to do karma. Therefore, amnayasya kriyartatvad anarthakyam adudarthanam. Any vakya that is not directly related to action must somehow or other, we have to see to it that it gets related to action. Unrelated to action is useless. Anarthakyam adudarthanam. Anarthakyam adudarthanam. Akriyarthanam. Anything that is unrelated to a ritual, an action, is of no use. The word Brahma, these are all vakyas which are not directly related to vakyas. I mean, this is not directly related to action. But we have to somehow or other relate. We have to strike. We have to strike a relation between these vakyas also, Vastu Pratipadaka, looking vakyas. The statements of facts also, the Vedantic statements of fact, also should be somehow or other, we should get them related to action. And the way to get them related is after knowing that you are Brahman, after knowing the fact that you are Brahman, then you have to do upasana upon what you know. What you know should become the Devata. And on that Brahma Devata you do upasana. That is called Brahma Upasana. And as an upasana is a mental kriya, it is a manasa kriya, it is a mental action. And that action will bring about the whatever the result of moksha. So that in that manner Vedanta also should culminate in some kriya. That way Vedanta would become useful. But if you say Vedanta culminates in Vidya, then it is not acceptable. Knowledge cannot be an end in itself because we don't experience. This is the point. In life we don't experience knowledge as an end. We always use knowledge for an action. We always use science for action. Any knowledge. In the Vedic context, knowledge of a ritual is used to perform a ritual. Therefore, karma jnanam is always a means to karma anushthana, quote unquote. This is the known knowledge. This is the known reality. Every jiva, everybody knows that you have to first know something and use that knowledge for an action, and that action produces the result, and that result will give you sukham. So here also, just as karma jnanam leads to karma anushtanam leads to karma phala leads to karma bhoga, phala bhoga, and phala bhoga leads to sukham. In that manner, here also brahma jnanam, it has to lead to brahma anushtanam, and that has to lead to a result called moksha, and that gives you sukham. So you cannot interpret Vedanta to mean only jnanam as an end in itself. All these arguments have already been seen. Now, in answer to this Purva Paksha comes the fourth sutra. This is the sambandha. The sambandha, the connection between the third and the fourth sutra is this. This is called Sambandha Bhashya. The Sambandha Bhashya we have seen. The Sambandha Bhashya we have seen. What is the connection? What is it that warrants the fourth sutra? What warrants the fourth sutra? We have already seen this objection, this Purva Paksha. For that we say no. Tattu samanvayat. In answer to this question, Veda Vyasa writes the sutra. In answer to this objection, Veda Vyasa writes, Sutrakara writes the sutra. He says, Tattu samanvayat iti. Now let us read. So, tu shabdaha purva paksha vyavrityartaha tat brahma sarvajñam sarvashakti jagad utpatti sthiti laya karanam vedanta shastra deva avagamyate. So tu shabdaha, in that tat tu samanvayat. These are the three words. That tu shabda is meant to purva paksha vyavrityartaha. It's meant to negate the vyavritti means negation. Like anuvritti means continuity. Vyavritti is just to negate, exclusion. So anuvritti and vyavritti, they are the contrast. Anuvritti and vyavritti. So in order to exclude Purva Pakshi means in order to show the difference between the Purva Pakshi and the Siddhantam, or in order to say no to the Purva Pakshi. It is in the sense of nakara. Vyavritti, to disagree with. That tu shabda implies disagreement with the Purva Pakshi. Tu shabdaha Purva Paksha vyavrityarthaha. Tu shabdaha Purva Paksha vyavrityarthaha. It is meant to show the disagreement with the Purva Paksha. Why? Because tat, first word tat. Tat means Tat Brahma Sarvajñam. Tat Brahma, the Brahman, which is indeed the matter for Mimamsa. Sarvajñam, all neuter gender. Sarvajñam Brahma. Brahman is neuter gender, therefore Sarvajñam. Sarvashakti. Sarvashakti is neuter gender. Sarvashakti. And see, Sarva Shakti means, the material for everything. Sarva Shakti here. The material for everything. Shakti means, Shakti should be understood in the Laukika Bhasha. In the Laukika Paribhasha, Shakti means, capacity. This is called capacity. This is called capacity. See, Shakti also means potentially there, in contrast to Vyakti. Vyakti, Vyaktata, Vyakti. So, when the tree is potentially there in the seed, in the unmanifest, that is the Shakti. And what is there in the form of the Shakti, it becomes Vyakti, becomes Vyakta. So, okay, now Param Brahman is the material for, as the source, as the material for the entire unmanifest. The entire unmanifest is called Sarva Shaktiman. Shaktivala, Shaktiman. Sarva Shaktiman means the one who holds the potential for everything. Like water holds the potential for the wave. Of course it is Adhyastha. If the wave is Adhyastha and its potentiality, its unmanifest form in water also is Adhyastha. Waterness is the actuality. If you talk about the wave, you talk about wave as the manifest, or you talk about it as unmanifest. Any reference to wave is Adhyastha. Similarly, whether the Prapancha as manifest or Prapancha as unmanifest, it is Adhyastha. Therefore, what is Param Brahman? He is Sarva Shaktiman. Sarva Shaktiman means the material, the locus, the basis for all the potential for the universe. And the universe is Adhyastha, and its potentiality in Brahma is Adhyastha. So, in relation to Adhyastha Prapancha, Parameshwara gets the name, Param Brahman gets the name Sarva Shaktiman. So, that Sarva Shaktiman itself is put here as Sarva Shakti. Sarva Shakti Mat. Brahman being neutral gender, Sarva Shakti Mat you can say, or you can say Sarva Shakti. Jagad Utpatti Sthiti Laya Karanam. And this Brahman, this Tat refers to Brahman, which is Sarvajnam, which is the illuminer of everything, which is the source of all the potential for the universe, and it is also Jagad Utpatti Sthiti Laya Karanam, the source, the support and end of the world. This Brahman, Vedanta Shastra Deva, only through Vedanta Shastram, Avagamyate is understood. So, Purvapakshi is wrong because the knowledge of Brahman is not the result of Brahma Upasana. The knowledge of Brahman is not the result of karma. The knowledge of Brahman is not the result of Brahma Upasana. The knowledge of Brahman is the result of Vedanta Shastra Jnanam, Vakya Jnana. Understanding the Vedanta Shastram is understanding the topic of Vedanta Shastram. So Vedanta Vakya is the pramana by which you come to know Brahman. Therefore, if Brahma Avagatihi, Brahma Jnanam is accomplished through Vakya Jnanam, then you don't require karma, you don't require upasana. Therefore, if karma has no role to play, upasana has no role to play, therefore it is kevala, it is only, the knowledge is gained only through Vedanta Vakya. Therefore, only Vedanta Shastra Deva Avagamyate. It is known, Brahman comes to be known only through Vedanta Shastram, no other sadhanam. And therefore, the Vedanta Vakyas do not have any relationship to any karma. Vedanta Vakyas have no relationship with any karma. Because Shabda means the pramana, and therefore I have to really understand only the vakyas. I have to understand only the vakyas. And the vakyas are talking to me about me. Now I have to only verify the vakyas. And verifying the vakyas to be true is Brahma Jnanam. Believing the vakyas to be true is not Jnanam. But verifying the vakyas in the light of my own Anubhava is Jnanam. So, mere verification of the Vedanta Vakyas is Brahma Jnanam, then where is the need for Brahma, the karma, upasana, etc. And therefore Vedanta Vakyas alone are the pramanam, not related to any karma, and therefore the Purvapakshi is wrong. Katham samanvayat. Okay, then how can you say Vedanta Vakyas alone are the means to Brahma Vidya, Brahma Jnanam, no karma, no upasana? That is because Samanvaya. Samanvaya is the head, is the reason. Samanvaya means all the Vakyas point to the same reality, same tatparya. They do not disagree with. One is samanvaya, and the opposite is asamanvaya, disagreement. Asamanvaya, matabheda. All the Vedanta Vakyas of the same topic, and they resolve in that topic. These are the 2 points that we have to pick up. Samanvaya must be understood as 2 things. And this, the Samanvaya I explained in the previous classes in relation to Pratyaksha Pramana. When it comes to the eyes, well, the eyes do not do anything else other than illumining the form. The eyes have no job other than illumining the form. Okay? They have no distraction from, they don't do anything other than illumining the form, nor do they do anything beyond it. They don't do anything other than it. They don't do anything beyond it. They culminate. The eyes culminate in illumining the form. That is samanvaya. It culminates. The eyes culminating in illumining the eyesight culminating in illumining the form is called samanvaya. It is not agreement between 2 things or anything that is called samanvaya. Every vakya has no other topic than the topic of Brahmavastu, Brahmatma Aikyam. Every vakya is dedicated to highlighting the Brahmavastu, and it doesn't go beyond it. It has no distraction from the topic. It doesn't overshoot the topic. Supposing it were to overshoot the topic, then definitely we say after illumining, then it tells you to perform karma. Like karma. Karma kanda, it wants you to learn karma so that you can do karma, perform karma. So karma that is Vaidika, the Veda not only gives us the knowledge, karma jnanam we have, so karma jnanam doesn't culminate in jnanam. Karma jnanam goes beyond jnanam, meaning karma jnanam is used afterwards. So there is no samanvaya there. There the samanvaya is, it goes into karma anushtana. But here, in the case of the Vedanta Vakyas, every Vakya has samanvaya. In fact, in Karma Kandas, samanvaya is karma. Every karma jnanam is meant only for karma anushtana, otherwise there is no point. Every karma jnanam is meant for karma anushtana. And that is the samanvaya. Karma anushthanam is the karma kanda samanvaya. But in Vedanta the samanvaya is only illumining what? Is only stating what Brahman is, pointing out what the self is, how the self is Brahman, just pointing out. In that particular pointing out alone, every Vakya culminates. That culmination is called samanvaya. It is not agreement between one Vakya and another Vakya. Because if you talk about agreement, then first of all you have to show the disagreement. In order to prove disagreement, you have to first show a disagreement. There is no disagreement. Therefore, the topic here is not agreement or disagreement. The topic here is it doesn't overshoot. Very important thing. The eyes never tell you to perform an act. Eyes only reveal the form. Eyes only reveal that pramana. The job of a pramana is over. The job of a pramana is over. And that is called samanvaya. Please see. It will come. Bhashyakara will show, because the whole fourth sutra is only talking about samanvaya. Sarveshu hi Vedanteshu Vakyani Tatparyena Etasya arthasya Pratipadakatvena Samanugatani. Very beautiful. Sarveshu hi Vedanteshu. In all Upanishads, Vakyani, the statements, Tatparyena, as the Tatparyam. Beyond Tatparyam there is nothing. Tatparyam. Tatparyam means Tatparata. Tatparata is called Tatparyam. Once we say Tatparata, then beyond it there is no another, there is no Parata for anything beyond. Everybody is indeed Sukhaparaha. The Tatparyam in daily life, the Tatparyam of whatever we do, the Tatparyam is I want to be happy. That is the Tatparyam. Why are you doing business? I want to get money. That is not Tatparyam. Then why do you want money? So that I can get my happiness. Why do you want to get happiness? There is nothing beyond. That means I want to be happy is the Tatparyam. If it is Tatparyam, then there should be no motive for anything beyond. If there is something beyond it, then that should be Tatparyam. Tatparyam is the final. Karma jnanam is not Tatparyam. When Veda teaches man how to perform karma, when Veda gives us karma jnanam is not Tatparyam. The Tatparyam of karma jnanam is karma anushtanam. That is also not Tatparyam really. That is also not Tatparyam. Karma phala prapti, even that is not Tatparyam. In fact, karma phala bhoga, that is Tatparyam. That is why it says Sparga kamo yajeta. The one who wants to have the happiness of a heaven, let him perform. So the Tatparyam is Vishaya Sukham. Sukham is the Tatparyam. You understand what is Tatparyam? Matlab. Beyond that matlab, if there is another matlab, then that would be matlab the tatparya. So here, Brahma Vidya, conveying what Brahma is the tatparyam of Vedanta. If that is the tatparyam, then it can't go beyond it. And tatparyam is a tatparyam not by one's choice. The tatparyam is a tatparyam without choice. There should be no possibility of looking for anything beyond it. Then that becomes tatparyam. I hope you have followed this sentence. There should be no possibility of entertaining a motive beyond that. There should be no possibility of entertaining a motive beyond that. Then that becomes the tatparya. That means it has to culminate. So, sarveshu hi vedanteshu vakyani tatparyena tatparataya etasya arthasya isi arthaka means etasya arthasya means brahmanaha etasya arthasya isi arthaka. What is the artha? That the Atma is Brahman, that the very subject is the truth. Etasya arthasya pratipadakatvena, as the unfolder, as the unfolders. All the Vakyas in the Vedanta as the unfolders of this as the unfolders of this fact, as the tatparyam samanugatani. They are all related to each other. Samanugatani. Samanugatani. They are all there related to each other. As they all coordinate with each other. They all coordinate with one another, with one tatparyam, and the tatparyam of conveying this one fact of Atma being Brahman as the very tatparya, as the very tatparya, tatparata, dedicated. For example, prakriya is meant for tatparyam. God created the world, that is not tatparyam. This is a srishti paravakya. And yatova imani bhutani jayante, he is the source. Yena jatani jivanti, they are all sustained by Brahman. Yat prayanti abhisam vishanti, and they all go back into Brahman. It is a laya vakya. Srishti sthiti laya vakya. So when these vakyas talk about the Srishti Sthiti Laya, the tatparyam is not Srishti Sthiti Laya. Their tatparyam is to tell that what is Srishtam. So if the world is created in Brahma, sustained by Brahma, and if it goes back into Brahma, and if that Brahman is thou art, then they are all Ananya with Brahma, Ananya with Atma. And therefore Atma is Ekameva Advitiyam, that is Tatparyam. Baby is born of water, stays in water, goes back into water. Now these Vakyon ka Tatparya kya hai? Not, their Tatparyam is not what they say. Their Tatparyam is what they want to ultimately convey is that the ekatvam, the advitiyatvam of water. That is tatparyam. And beyond that there is nothing to convey. Beyond the advitiyatvam of Atma, what can you convey? Beyond the advitiyatvam of Atma, what can you convey? And therefore, In order to convey that one tatparyam, well, all the vakyas coordinate with one another in order to convey that one tatparyam. And they all form one topic. They are not talking, differently. They are all talking, every Upanishad is one statement. It is one statement. Even though Bhashyakara uses the word in plural vakyani, they are all here, the vakyani here means sentences. But all these sentences in the Vedanta form one statement. And different Upanishads are not different statements. All Upanishads form one pramana and all of them form only one statement. If there are two statements, then you have to find out whether there is agreement or disagreement between two statements. But there is only one statement with many sentences. But all these sentences are all coordinating with one another in order to convey only one tatparyam, and that tatparyam is indeed Brahmavastu, and they culminate there. If that is the tatparyam, they culminate. And therefore the Purvapakshi is wrong. If they culminate in it, then how the Purvapakshi is wrong? Because Purvapakshi says Vedanta Vakyam has to be understood and it should be followed by Anushthana. But that is not the intention of the Vakya, because the Tatparyam of the Vakya is only conveying. When it comes to the Karma Kanda, Karma Paravakya conveys to you the karma so that you can do Anushthana. That the Karma Vakya knows. Karma Paravakya knows that karma needs to be performed, and to perform the karma you require karma jnanam. Therefore karma paravakyas enlighten man about the karma so that he can do anushtanam. That vision karma kanda has. Karma kanda has. Therefore the tatparya of karma kanda is not karma jnanam. The tatparya of karma kanda is karma anushtanam. Whereas here, the Vedanta Vakyas are not, their Tatparyam is not Brahma Anushtanam, it is only Brahma Jnana. Only convey. It never says Kuru. If it says Kuru, then the Tatparya will be Karma. If it says Thou art that, you are Brahman, there is no Kuru. Karo, Kuru to nahi hai. And therefore, the Vedanta Vakyas have no relationship with karma or upasana. Sadeva Saumya Idamagra Asit Ekameva Advitiyam Atmavam Idam Ekayeva Agra Asit Tadetat Brahma Apurvam Anaparam Anantaram Abhahyam Ayamatma Brahma Sarvanubhuhu Brahmaiva Idam Amritam Purastad Ityadini Vakyani Adini Vakyani Ityadini Vakyani Samanugatani. Well, etasya eva arthasya well tatparyena pratipadakatvena samanugatani etani vakyani. The Vakyas like this, not only these, all Vakyas. Ekameva Advitiyam. The Vakyas like Ekameva Advitiyam Asti. There is the Kuru. Ekameva Advitiyam Asti. And Tat Brahmatvam Asi. There is the Kuru. Atma va idam ekayeva agra asit. Idam, this world, agre, before the creation, idam jagat, this world, agre srishtehe prak, meaning before the srishti, atma ekaha eva asit. It was all Atma. Atma ekaha eva idam agre asit. This universe, before its creation, was one Atma. Don't say before the creation there was only one Atma. Before the creation, this universe was Atma. Like wave before its creation was only water. In order, that doesn't mean now it is not water. In order to show that it is now also it is water, it says it was only water. So, if this prapancha before the creation was only Atma, and out of the Atma the material alone is created this world, then definitely even now it is Ananya with Atma. It is not separate from Atma, and therefore even now Ekameva Advitiyam. Ekameva Advitiyam. This Vakya, Asit means Tha. So that Tha is only keeping in view the time. It is only as though Asit. Because even time was. You see, even the time that is concomitant with the universe, this time also was Atma. This universe before its creation was Atma. The time also was Atma. So the time was Atma. That was, does it have any meaning? The time was, before its creation, time was Atma. Is it grammatically right? Without taking into account Bhranti, how do you use the time before the creation of time? Before the creation of time. Time before its creation was Atma. Is it grammatically right? It's not grammatically right because was has to be past in time. And therefore, without accepting the Bhranti, how do you use the word was? There was no time in Sushupti. This is not grammatically right. Yesterday this was not. You can talk about what was and what was not in time. We can talk about what will be and what will not be in time. But in Sushupti the time was not. Without bringing the Sushupti into time, without bringing the deep sleep into time in our thinking, how can we say that time was not in Sushupti? Is it a Bhranti or not? Without bringing the deep sleep state into time. Okay? Now Jagrat we say it is present, and the deep sleep state we look upon as past. But is deep sleep state past? Deep sleep state is free from past and future. That means that which is free from time cannot be past. But still we say there was no time in deep sleep. Then what Bhranti takes place? What is the Bhranti that takes place? We bring the deep sleep state into time. The waking state we put in the present. This is the present state, and the state before the waking state is the past state. So I am putting in one time, the deep sleep state, the timeless, I put it in time, and even the waking state which is not in time really, I put it in time, because even the waking state is not. Is the waking state in time? No. In fact, time is in the waking state. Time is avasthantargatam. Avastha is not kalantargatam. बहुत ही बड़ी बात है, इसके बारे में विचार करना पड़ता है. यहीं पर भ्रांति, one comes to see how we are all under the spell. The whole Jivaloka is under the spell of Bhranti, is under the dream. Jagrat looks a dream. The moment one sees this point, that we put the waking in the present and the deep sleep in the past, itself is a Bhranti, because deep sleep state is time free, even Jagrat is time free. It is not inside time, because time is inside the waking state. If the waking state were in time, then before it begins also there should be time. Like an event takes place in time, because before the event also, its prior non-existence also should be in time. Before the event there is time, after the event there is time, then we can say the event takes place in time. But before the waking takes place, there is no time. Therefore, where does the waking take place? In time or in the timeless? Before the waking begins, there is no time. Therefore, where does the waking begin? For the waking to begin in time, there should be time before the waking. But if there is no time before the waking, then the waking begins in the timeless. Therefore, the time itself is a part of the waking state, and state itself is rooted in the timeless. Therefore, I can't use the word was to deep sleep state. I can't also use the word will be for this world. I can only say Sushupti, that is as timeless. The state, waking state also is rooted in the timeless. Sushupti is timeless. Jagrat is rooted in the timeless, and the time is a part of the waking state. It is Kala. Kala is avasthantargatam, but avastha is not kalantargatam. But still Vedanta says here, Atma va idam eka eva agra asit. Asit means tha. It is anuvada of human Bhranti. Asit is not Shruti's vision. Asit is a restatement of human thinking. Keeping in view the human Bhranti of putting the Sushupti in time, restating the human Bhranti, restating the human thinking, that human thinking of putting the deep sleep state in time, because we look upon Sushupti as a tha, we look upon the Sushupti as tha, and that is restated by the Shruti. Says, yes, all this Jagrat was Sushupti alone, This Jagrat was Atma alone. You can't explain away Asit without restating human Bhranti. Let anybody explain. Let any scholar account for Asit. The Asit refers only to the restatement of the human bhranti of putting sushupti in time. But otherwise, the actuality is this whole Jagat is Atma. Tatparyam is what? Before the creation, the universe was, just see, before the creation, the universe was Atma. And it was born, it became manifest in Atma. Therefore, now it is inseparable from Atma. Therefore, it is Atma. It is Atma is Tatparyam. It was Atma is Prakriya. To show that, in order to show that it is Atma, we begin with the statement that before the creation it was Atma. The wave before its creation was water alone, in order to point out even now it is water. It is the timeless. Hey, now how many Tatparyas? There is only one Tatparyam for all the three Vakyas. Ayam Atma Brahma Sarvanubhuhu. That is of Agri Asit. Ye Tade Tat Brahma Tade Tat Brahma Apurvam. This Brahman, Tade Tat Brahma, this Brahman that is under discussion, Apurvam, Akaranam. Apurvam means Akaranam, it has no before, means it has no source. Anaparam, it has no effect. Anantaram, it has no second. It has no second inside it. Abhakyam, it has nothing external to it. There is nothing else external to it. There is nothing else internal to it. That is Anantaram Abhakyam. There is nothing else internal to it. There is nothing else external to it. There is no outside to it. In fact, that which has no outside to it is the truth. Nothing else outside to it. Because there is no outside to it. Nothing else internal to it. And what else is, what is Sushupti, tell me? Is not Sushupti Apurvam Anantaram Abhakyam? Keeping in view the waking, we say, well, this is the creation in that. But what is the Anubhava? Is not the Sushupti Anubhava Apurvam Anantaram Abhakyam? Apurvam Anaparam Anantaram Abhakyam? Sushupti is Advitiyam, where there is no, it's not experienced to have another cause, nor is it experienced to have a result of a creation in it, nor is it not to experience anything else outside it, anything else inside it, or having an outside to it. Is not the truth. If that is not the truth, then what is the truth? In fact, one renounces one individuality and stands himself, that is the truth. Therefore, the one who stands as the Jiva is none other than that Apurvam, Anaparam, Anantaram, Abhakyam, Vidya, Adhyasa, that I am Deha. Therefore, the Vakya is only conveying the Atma as Brahma. Ayam Atma Brahma Sarvanubhuhu. Ayam Atma Brahma, this self is Brahman. Sarva Anubhuhu, that which experiences everything. Sarvam Anubhavati, that which experiences everything. The very experiencer, the one who experiences everything, is indeed Brahma Vastu. Brahmaiva idam amritam purastat. Idam purastat Brahmaiva amritam. Idam purastat. What is in front? The universe that is in front is Brahman alone, the Amritam, the eternal. Ityadini Vakyani. All these Vakyas have only one Tatparyam, the Brahma Vastu. In these Vakyas, where is the Kuru? There is only Asti. There, in Karmapara Vakyas, Karma Jnanam and then Kuru. Kuryat, Kurvita. All these words are there. And therefore, when it comes to Karma Kanda, there the Tatparyam is Karmanushthanam. Here the Jnanam itself is stating the fact is the Tatparyam. Conveying the fact is the Tatparyam. Now my job as a student of moksha, as a student of happiness, as a student of Vedanta, I should only understand the Vakya. There is no such a thing that I have understood Vakya, but I have to do something else, then you are overshooting the Vakya. That means you are leaving the Vakya and doing something else. And I have told you in yesterday's class, I told you that Atma Vare Trashtavyaha, Shrotavyaha, Mantavyaha, Nididhyasitavyaha, that Shrotavyaha, that Mantavyaha, Nididhyasitavyaha are given there so that the student will not leave the Vakya and do something else. You have done the Shravanam, if you have not understood, then do Mananam of the same Vakya. If you have not understood, then still do Nididhyasanam until you understand. Don't leave the Vakya and don't leave the process of verifying the Vakya. You continue to dwell upon what the Vedanta says to see whether it is. If you want to do something, after verifying you can see. Is it clear? And therefore the Tatparyam is only Brahmavastu, and therefore there is no relation with Karma and Upasana. Next sentence. Nacha Tadgatanam Padanam Brahmaswarupa Vishaye Nishchite Samanvaye Avagamyamane Arthantara Kalpana Yukta Shrutahani Ashruta Kalpana Prasangat. That Nacha we will take it up later on. Tat Gatanam Padanam. The words that are there in the Vakyas. Brahma Swarupa Vishaye Nishchite Samanvaye. Tadgatanam Padanam Samanvaye. Sati Saptami. Tadgatanam Padanam Samanvaye. The Samanvaya of the various words in the Vakyas. The words of these Vakyas. The Samanvaya of these words in the Vakyas. Tadgata. Tadgata means Vakyagata. Vakyagatanam Padanam. The words that are there in these Vakyas. Unka Samanvaya. Samanvaya is their culmination, their Tatparya. Samanvaye. Nishchite, when it is determined, when it is clearly determined. When the Tatparyam of the words of these Vakyas is clear, when it is evident, when it is determined to be evident, as pertaining to Brahma Swarupa. Brahma Swarupa Vishaye Nishchite Samanvaye. Padanam Samanvaye. Sati Saptami. The Samanvaya of these words, when the Samanvaya of these words is determined to be, when it is evident to be pertaining to the nature of Brahma. Brahma Swarupa Vishaye Nishchite Samanvaye. When the Samanvaya of these words, is evidently pertaining to the nature of Brahman. Nishchite, when it is clear. Avagamyamane, and it is evident to be so. When it is understood to be so, when it is conveyed to be so, when it is evident to be so. Avagamyamane. Translate it as when it is evident to be so. When the tatparyam of, when the vision of all these words is evident to be pertaining to the nature of a fact. When the words of these vakyas is evidently pertaining to the nature of a fact rather than pertaining to an action. When the vision of all these words is evidently pertaining to the nature of a fact, avagamyamane, arthantara kalpana, to imagine some other vision, that they all mean something else, that they are all meant to make you do upasana. Understand the arthantara kalpana? Na yukta. Nakara bring in now. Na yukta. It's not logical. It's not tenable. Arthantara kalpana. Imagining some other vision is not logical. Why? Shruta hani. When we imagine that these vakyas are meant to facilitate Brahma Upasana, that these vakyas are meant to facilitate some karma, that these vakyas are meant to facilitate some Brahma Upasana, to think like this, to do this kalpana, it is illogical because it would amount to Shruta hani, meaning missing what is said. That is called Shruta hani. Shruta means what is mentioned. Hani means what? Losing, missing what is said, and Ashruta kalpana, and reading into it what is not said. Prasangaha it would amount to. It would amount to missing the point and imagining what is not there. That is called Sutahani, Ashruta Kalpana. I say something and you don't understand what I mean, and you are imagining what I don't mean. You don't see what I mean, but you imagine what I don't mean. Because when there is a Shruta Hani, definitely there will be Ashruta Kalpana. This is called various schools. So cults वगैरह आते हैं ना, they all want Ashruta Kalpana. It's all Ashruta Kalpana. Why? Because there is Shruta Hani. And if there should not be Shruta Hani, then you have to do proper Shravana of what is Shruti. I have to look into Shruti. I just hear something and imagine, oh, this must be this. Because I am very good at guessing. Because I am smart. They must be meaning this. They must be meaning this. Generally, when a person hears the Shruti, the first casualty is Shruti. The first thing that happens is Shrutahani. Then afterwards, Ashruta Kalpana. Kalpana after Kalpana. Kalpana. Everybody has Ashruta Kalpana. You should not only know Brahman, but you should also practice Brahman. What is it? Ashruta Kalpana. It is all Ashruta Kalpana. You are studying Vedanta. For what? For reading into it what is not there. Because to find out what is there, I have to look into it. I only look at it, not look into it. Vada both split. All bhashya. Sutahani Ashruta Kalpana Prasanga. Nowhere is it said really you should meditate upon Brahma. See, you should understand, you have to figure out yourself. Whatever meditation you are doing, you are just think some thought you are entertaining. You entertain a thought and look at it. That is called meditation. You think of a thought and keep on looking at it. That's called concentration. Already Ashruta Kalpana. And Dhyanama, Ashruta Kalpana. Concentration on Ashruta Kalpana. We don't require concentration and all that. Don't unnecessarily go about, this concentration. What concentration? Say, listen to it to figure out something. Be reflective. Yes, be reflective. Not some great tapasya. Say, karma always leads to karma anushtanam. Here it is only saying, thou art Brahman. This Jagat is Brahman. There is only Ekameva Advitiyam. Whatever is, even Jagrat is inseparable from Sushupti. The waking is inseparable from Sushupti. Therefore, this whole vision, the empirical vision, is an adhyasa right in the Sushupti, the Nirvisesha Atma. So I have to figure out really the being. Therefore, that the Vedanta Vakyas are meant to facilitate the Brahma Upasana or Karma would amount to Ashruta Kalpana. Shrutahani Ashruta Kalpana Prasanga. And this Prasanga is not acceptable to any school. Because no scholar would accept it as acceptable. Because nobody, it is wrong. Ashruta Hani and Ashruta Kalpana is not acceptable. Clear? And therefore, what the Purvapakshi says is wrong. Nacha Tesham Kartruswarupam Pratipadana Paratam Avasiyate Tatkenakam Pashet Ityadi Kriyakaraka Ala Nirakarana Shutehe. When in the Karma Kanda, the Karma Paravakyas, they always say who has to perform this Karma. Brahmano ejeta. Understand? Swarga kamo ejeta. This particular karma has to be performed by a particular person. That means the person who has to do the karma is described. That is called Kartru Swarupa. Kartru Swarupa here does not mean Kartaka Swarupa, the Brahman, meaning the identity of an individual. Kartru Swarupa as Karta. And also they talk about Devata Swarupa, the Devata whom you have to worship. That is called Devata Swarupa. Understand? These are all there in the Karma Kanda. Purvapakshi said that Vedanta Vakyas as they are meant to describe the Devata. They are meant to describe the look of a Devata, so that you can worship it. And Vedanta Vakyas also meant, they can also sometimes talk about the Kartru Swarupa. Kartru Swarupa means like a mumukshu. So mumukshu, that I want really Swarga Prapti, that I want Moksha Prapti, the one who has that desire, is the Karta. There he is a Swarga Kamo Ejeta, a person who has the desire is the Karta. Here also Moksha Kami is the Karta. And what is the Devata? Brahma Devata. So what does Vedanta say? Vedanta Vakyas culminate in giving you the information about who should meditate and on what should you meditate. Vedanta Vakyas give you the information about who should do Upasana and on what should you do Upasana. Who should do Upasana? Moksha Kami, On what should you do upasana? On Brahma. Now, I cannot meditate upon Brahman unless I have some information, and that information is given by the Vedanta Vakyas. Therefore, they give you information, and on the basis of that information you should do Anushtanam, and that Anushtanam will bring you the result, jo bhi hoga. But in these Vakyas, there is no Kartru Swarupam, there is no Devata Swarupam. Here it is only talking about Vastu. That is what is said here. Nacha, nor, Tesham. Tesham means, Tesham Vakyanam, Tesham Padanam. The above mentioned Vakyas, Tesham Vakyanam. Kartru Swarupa Pratipadana Paratva Avasiyate. Kartru Swarupa Pratipadana Parata. Kartru Swarupa means Kartru Adi Swarupa. Kartru Adi Swarupa Pratipadana Parata. That they are committed to showing the identity of the Karta, the Upasaka, or that they are committed to showing the identity of a Devata to be meditated upon. इस प्रकार की डिटेल्स न च तेषां कर्तृ स्वरूप प्रतिपादन परता अवसीयते निश्चीयते न अवसीयते न निश्चीयते न अवध्रियते न अवधार्यते. It is not determined that these Vakyas are meant to talk about who has to do and who has to meditate and what one has to meditate. Because they are talking about a truth in which there is no subject-object relation. And that is also mentioned here. Well, tat kenakam pashe. The truth is that in which there is nobody seeing something. Meaning the seer-seen relation is not there. Tat kenakam pashe. Yatraiva sarvam atmaiva bhut. Tat kenakam pashe. Yatraiva sarvam atmaiva bhut. Where everything is recognized as the self, then who is the subject and who is the object? Therefore, what is conveyed is the freedom from subject-object relation. And if that is what is being conveyed, how can you interpret it to mean that it is talking about the identity of an upasaka and the identity of the upasyam, between which two there is subject-object relation. Therefore, these Vakyas are talking about a truth in which there is no subject-object. They are corrective of subject-objective relation. They are corrective of subject-object relation. They are corrective of subject-object division rather than establishing subject-object division. tat kenakam pashet इत्यादि इस प्रकार की क्रियाकारक फल निराकरण श्रुते है. There being the statements corrective of kriya action. Karaka means the means of action. Phala means the result. Nirakarana means corrective, rejective. Shrutehe. These are the Shrutis. Like Tat Kenakam Pashet is what? It is a Shruti that is corrective of actor-action result phenomena in the truth. And that truth is the Tatparyam. Yatraiva sarvam atmaiva bhut tat kenakam pashet. When everything is the truth, when everything is the self, then who is the subject and who is the object? Are you able to follow? So what is Vedanta conveying? It is conveying the self as free from subject-object division. That means it is corrective of subject-object division. And that which is corrective of that correction of the subject-object division is the Tatparyam. Now these vakyas which are conveying the tathparyam of freedom from subject-object division in the self, how can those vakyas be interpreted to be establishing subject-object division? And therefore, as Purvapakshi said, Vedanta Vakyas are only meant to tell us who should be the Karta and who should be the Devata and who should be the Karaka. These things are not even follow. There is no Karta, there is no Karma, there is no Karana, there is no Phala. These things are not there. They are all corrected. Therefore, nacha tesham kartriswarup pratipadana paratavasiyate tatkenakam pashyet ityadi kriyakaraka phala nirakarana shutehe. Can put a mark there. Therefore, na avasiyate, na nishchiyate. It can never be determined to mean. Vedanta Vakyas can never be concluded to mean. Concluded to be talking about the nature of the meditator, the nature of the meditated on. You understand, nature means the identity of the meditator and the identity of the meditated upon and the identity of the result. These things are not, Vedanta Vakyas cannot be concluded to be talking about these details, unlike the Vakyas in Karma Kanda. And therefore, Vedanta Vakyas are a Swataha Pramanam, they are a Pramanam in their own, they are not followed by any Anushtanam. And therefore, Brahma Vidya is gained only through Vakya Jnanam, independent of Anushtanam and Upasana. That is it. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaha Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Please come. Not interesting? Interesting? Not interesting. It's very difficult. Don't say difficult. Even if it is difficult, don't tell me that it is difficult. Because it's the most absorbing. अगर पढ़ना हो तो वेदांत पढ़ना है. ये बाकी में क्या है? बाकी में क्या है? What is there in other things? क्या समझना है वेदांत को, पढ़ना है वेदांत. You take a novel, fat novel, what is there? Some kahani, somebody's kalpana. You go through, you process yourself through somebody's imagination. In fact, you can also imagine such kahaniya. There are so many kahaniya, Every novel has got some kahani. I never like to read novels because I can also imagine such stories. What is it? Kahani. All really imagining the imaginable. What is not available for Pratyakshadi Pramanam should be the topic. Is available for Pratyakshadi. Yeah. Badi baat. Hari Om. Om. हो गया आपका परीक्षा? परीक्षा पास हो गया? अभी मालूम नहीं है अभी
उसको मैं नहीं कर पाया
परीक्षा। तुम चंडीगढ़ वगैरह?
अभी चंडीगढ़ का तो अब अभी रिजल्ट नहीं आया, उसका तो कल आया।
हाँ ठीक। वही जो आपने कहा था ना, चंडीगढ़ जाना है।
चंडीगढ़ के बाद गुजरात भी जाना था।
हाँ ओके। चंडीगढ़ यू लिख लिया वहाँ पर?
नहीं, अभी से रिजल्ट अवेटेड।
ओके दैट्स नाइस। कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं। ये आप ले लो। Nothing great. It's not unfollowable. Very simple. One has to do a little thinking, there's something strange topic because it's totally not karma. When we study Vedanta, like just as we bring Sutra also into time, we drag Vedanta also into the realm of karma. Because unless we put there, we can't understand one thing. We have to put it in the understandable terms. Putting it in the understandable terms means, dragging it into the realm of karma. गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. Putting Sushupti in understandable terms means bringing it under the realm of creation. And when you put it under time, was. You can't say Sushupti was. That is a Bhranti. You can't even say I will die. You can't even say I will die. Grammatically wrong. Because death is not an event in time. Like when you go to sleep, I will sleep, is not an event in time. It is negation of time. Now, negation of time is not an event in time. So you can't even say I will die. You can't talk. Therefore, any word used is Bhranti. Anything you say comes under Bhranti. Even the Adhyaropa Drishti is Bhranti. Every word that we say comes under, is in relation to Bhranti. Avasthas themselves are not in time. But then I put them all in a sequence. I had deep sleep, I had dream, I will have this. I am putting all the three states in the time. Time is something static. But it's not true. Time is avasthantargatam. That is why one has to do Vedanta Adhyanam very quietly, very personally, within yourself. You have to take personal interest in it, with great leisure. See, where it has nothing to do with the society, it should have nothing to do with the creation. So what is it talking? What is Vedanta talking? I have to take a very personal and sit down and look at it. How समझना? Not convert it into another upasana. And we were doing, Swamiji was taking classes in Bombay. Swamiji had to fight, to make this point clear. Karma upasana. And there were always students who are uncomfortable. Always uncomfortable. What is this? No karma, no upasana. ना इधर का रहेंगे ना उधर का रहेंगे, कर्म को छोड़ेंगे फिर ना ब्रह्मा तो मिलेगा नहीं है। छोटा मतलब यू कैन डू कर्मा फॉर शरीर यात्रा उसे कर्मा कैनॉट बी द साधनम फॉर संसार निवृत्ति, बट विद इन संसारा टू सर्वाइव वी मे डू सम कर्मा. इट्स डिफरेंट. Doesn't work unless the students are serious stuff. They have to be serious stuff things, a very, very thinking, serious stuff. And get into it. We are all like Shatakoti, what is Brahmachari Shatamarkata. One Brahmachari is equal to 100 monkeys. So they are like that. They come to Gurukulam, all like monkeys, jumping around, politicking, किचन में जाके झगड़ा करना, किचन में जाके झगड़ा करना. भाई किचन में जाके क्यों झगड़ा कर रहे हैं? अपनी पढ़ाई करो, जब भोजन मिलता है तब जाओ. कहाँ वेदांत होता है? बहुत गंभीर शास्त्र है, ये आदर करना चाहिए. स्वामी जी had tough time. One boy went and stabbed one girl 20 times. He went and stabbed 20 times. Why? That girl did not reciprocate his great Amar Prem. See? He had Amar Prem for a girl. He had come from somewhere to study. This fellow fell in love with that girl. And that girl said something, dismissed him. And then he hurt him. Marud hai na? Marud means, the one who feels hurt. And the girl says no. And the Marud feels hurt. So this Marud in him, she took a knife and went in the night and stabbed him. Unfortunately, he survived. कहते हैं हम वेदांत पढ़े. कहाँ वेदांत पढ़े? Full of politics. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. You have to make it very clear. If you are not interested, go and do something else. You want to study, study, and nothing else. Ekameva advitiyam. If it is a tattva means ekameva advitiyam. Adhyayana also means ekameva advitiyam. अध्ययन करो, अपना कुटिया में रहो, अपना मनन करो. No rush, no politics. Be serious. You have burnt your boats and then don't look back. Having burned your boats, don't look back. Don't open the previous chapter. Don't go back to the पूर्वाध्याय में फिर मत जाओ. पूर्वाश्रम की अध्याय, पूर्वाध्याय कर्मकांड को फिर तो भिन्न प्रकरण चलते रहो. उसमें आनंद है, इसमें आनंद है. अब आनंद है.